Welcome to the National Science and Math Quiz. Today's contest is the final one in our quarterfinals. The contest is between St. Peter's Secondary School and Prempeh College, Kumasi. Before we meet our contestants, let's take a message from our sponsors.
As I start my day, I know they are counting on me. I am a truck driver for the Ghana Education Trust Fund. My job is to supply books to schools across the country. Whenever I see the school kids, my mind goes back to my school days. I too had hopes and dreams that sadly never came to pass. I made a firm promise to myself that if I couldn't chase my dreams, I would make sure that others could. Seeing these happy kids simply warms my heart. It's happening every day, and I'm proud to be part of GetFund. GetFund, we invest in tomorrow's leaders.
Welcome back, viewers. Our contest today is between St. Peter's Secondary School and Prempeh College, Kumasi. Prempeh College is on my right and is represented by
Prince Sebastian.
And Daniel.
Adum Ben Figidium.
You are welcome, gentlemen. On my left, we have St. Peter's Secondary School represented by
Osainua. The Michael Fully.
Beko de Lassie.
You are also welcome, gentlemen. Let's get right to it. Round one. We'll start on my left with St. Peter's Secondary School. Your question: what is the shape of the NCl3 molecule? Yes, Noah.
Trigonal pyramidal.
That's correct. Prempeh College. Your question, Prempeh College. Why is the BCl non-polar? The BCl2F molecule? Yes, Jehu.
In the BCl3 molecule is trigonal pyramidal, and it is symmetrical, so the dipole moments cancel out. But in the BCl2F, it's not symmetrical, and hence there's a dipole moment.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. The shape of the BCl3 is trigonal planar, not pyramidal. And BCl dipoles cancel out. In BCl2F, the F atom has slightly higher electronegativity, hence the 3 dipoles do not cancel out. Your question again, St. Peter's. The pelvic fins of male cartilaginous fish are modified as copulatory organs. What are they called? One attempt only, please. For a bonus, Prempeh. Yes, Gideon.
Hemipenis.
No. They are called claspers. Claspers. Your own question. The claws of birds of prey, such as the eagle and the hawk, are well developed for grasping their prey. What are these claws called? Yes, Jehu.
They are grasping.
Michael.
Talons.
Talons. Your own question. Express as a single power. 2 to the power 4 plus 2 to the power 4. Yes, Michael.
2 to the power 5.
That's correct. Expressed as a single power. 3 to the power 2 plus 3 to the power 2 plus 3 to the power 2. Yes, Sebastian.
3 to the power 3.
That's correct. Define Kp for an equilibrium reaction. One attempt only. Yes, Noah.
Okay, it's defined as the ratio of the product of the partial pressures of the product to the product of the partial pressures of the reactant, or raise the power their moles. That's the conjugative coefficient.
2 out of 3. Is the equilibrium constant expressed in terms of the partial pressure of the gaseous compounds? Your question, Prempeh. If by doubling the concentration of a reactant, the rate of the reaction increases by a factor of 4, what is the order of the reaction with respect to that reactant? Only one attempt, please. Yes, Jehu.
Second order.
Yes, the second order. In biology, what does medusa refer to? Yes, Delasi.
Medusa refers to one of the stages in the life cycle of the cnidarians, which is less dominant.
One of the stages of the life cycle of cnidarians, which is mobile and aquatic.
All right, I'll give you the mark. Prempeh College, what is an ungulate? Yes, Gideon. Or your hand is not up. For a bonus, yes, the lassie.
These are animals with even and odd pair of toes with hooves. Or mammals with even or odd pair of hooves.
For a bonus, I can't give it. An ungulate is a herbivorous animal, herbivorous, with hoofed feet. Your own question. Find the sum and product of the roots of the quadratic equation. Negative 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. The lassie.
The sum is 2 over 3 and the product is 5 over 3.
That's correct. Prempeh, find the sum and product of the roots of the quadratic equation 5x squared minus 7x minus 6 is equal to 0. Yes, Jehu.
The sum is 7 over 5 and the product is negative 6 over 5.
That's correct. The last pair of questions in the round. State Kirchhoff's current law. Yes, the last one.
It states that the algebraic sum of the currents arriving at a junction is 0, or the number of currents arriving at a junction equals the sum of the currents leaving the junction.
That's correct. State Kirchhoff's voltage law. Yes, Sebastian.
It states that the voltage across a circuit in a closed loop is equal to the product of the individual currents and the resistance.
Try again. Yes.
It states that for a closed loop, the algebraic sum of the EMFs of the cell equals the sum of the potential difference of the resistors, or the sum of the
sum of the product times
1 out of 3. The algebraic sum of the voltages across all elements in a closed loop in an electrical circuit is 0. This brings us to the end of round 1.
As a little girl, my dream was to become a doctor. I always wanted to help the sick. Now I'm in the dental school together with others who had similar dreams. The support from the Ghana Education Trust Fund has made things a lot better. Their support has helped provide new equipment, teaching aids, improved facilities, and our student loan. We're studying hard, and we know that we can continue to count on support from Get Fund to turn our dreams into reality.
At the end of the first round, here are our scores. Prempeh College has 15 points. St. Peter's Secondary School has 21 points. We still have a long way to go. Let's see what happens in round 2. In the second round, we get a chance to find out how well you apply the science you learn in the classroom to everyday life. So let's begin, and we'll start on my right with Prempeh College. Distinguish between the function of mucus in saliva and mucus in gastric juice. Yes, Jewu.
Mucus in saliva lubricates the food for easy swallowing, and the mucus in gastric juice protects the inner surface of the stomach from being digested by the enzymes.
That's correct. St. Peter's, what is the physiological importance of the enzyme renin found in the gastric juice of young mammals? Yes, Michael.
The renin coagulates the soluble milk into insoluble form in order for the milk to stay longer in the stomach for the action of the pepsin.
That's correct. Prempeh, an engineer needs a 5 ohm resistor, but there are only 20 ohm resistors in stock. How can he obtain 5 ohms from the 20 ohm resistors? Yes, Sebastian.
By connecting 4 20 ohms resistors in parallel.
That's correct. Another engineer also needs 10 microfarad capacitor, but there are only 30 microfarad capacitors in stock. How can he obtain 10 microfarads capacitor from the 30 microfarad capacitors? Yes, Michael.
By connecting 3 30 microfarad capacitors in series.
That's correct. Given that x is equal to 2y and y is equal to 3z, find the ratio of x is to y is to z in simplest form. Yes, Gideon.
2y is to 3 is to 1.
Yes, Sebastian.
6 is to 9, z is to 1.
Your last chance for a bonus. Yes, Noah.
1 is to 3 is to 6.
I can't give it to you. I specify to you how to present it. X is to Z, so it's 6 is to 3 is to 1. Your own question. Given that x is equal to 2y over 3 and z is equal to 3y over 4, find the ratio x is to y is to z in simplest form. The last
8 over 3 is to 2 over 3 is to 1.
Noah.
8 over 9 is to 4 over 3 is to 1.
Yes, Michael.
8 is to 12 is to 9.
That's correct. How would you establish that some unknown gas is ammonia? Yes, Joe.
A glass rod dipped in conch HCl forms dense white fumes of ammonium chloride with the gas.
That's correct. A hydrated salt, green in color, turns white when heated. Which metal ion is likely to be present? Yes, Noah.
Fe2+.
That's correct. Give me 2 unique properties of cardiac muscles which enable it to perform its functions. Yes, Sebastian.
They can undergo the operation on end without being fatigued, and they are also straightened.
Their contractions are not generated by the nervous system, but by the muscles within the, by nerves within the muscle itself.
They have numerous mitochondria, and also they are joined by cross walls, or they are straightened, so that
2 out of 3. You gave me the properties, but you didn't link them to the functions. What effect does adrenaline have on blood vessels of skeletal muscles and skin, and what is the importance of this? Yes, Noah.
Okay, the adrenaline dilates the blood vessels that are flowing to the skeletal muscles to allow more blood that's carrying glucose to move towards the skeletal muscles to provide energy for action to take place.
And then the skin.
2 out of 3. What you mentioned was correct for the muscles, but no comment on the skin. It takes blood away from the skin to the muscles, since skin is not necessary in the fight or flight action. Prempeh, if you were to carefully open a 20 amp fuse and somehow decrease the diameter of the fuse wire while keeping the length of the wire constant, would the fuse now be rated greater or lower than 20 amp? Please explain. Yes, Jehu.
The resistance of the fuse wire is directly proportional to the area. So if the area is directly proportional to the area, so if the area is decreased, the current flowing through the circuit will also increase, because resistance is inversely proportional to current.
I can't give it. I'm passing it on for a bonus. Yes.
Okay, it will decrease. This is because when the diameter is increased, when the diameter is decreased, the resistance of the conductor also increases. And since the resistance of the conductor increases, the current will decrease.
Okay, I'll take that. Your own question. A bicycle at rest cannot be made to stand without support. However, when given a rolling motion, it does not fall. Why is this so? Yes, the lassie.
Okay, initially when it was at rest, it had a low moment of inertia. But when it was set into rolling, it had an increased moment of inertia, which enhanced a greater angular velocity.
Okay, when?
For a bonus.
when it's at
Yes,
rest,
Gideon.
when it is at rest, the radius of gyration is lower, so it has a low moment of inertia, so the lower stability. But when it is moving, it has a higher radius of gyration, so the stability will increase.
I can't take that. A bicycle at rest is unstable because the base of the tires is narrow and its center of gravity is fairly high above the ground. A little tilt, therefore, makes the vertical line through the center of gravity fall outside the base and the bicycle topples. When the bicycle is given a rolling motion, the law of inertia, that is Newton's first law of motion, will keep it moving on. Consequently, the moving wheels tend to maintain their orientation in space, and this gives stability against falling. Prempeh, your question. Find the base of the number system in which the sum is correct. 215 plus 866 equals 1182. Yes, Jehu?
Base 9.
Base 9 is correct. St. Peter's. Find the base of the number system in which the sum is correct. 565 minus 376 equals 167. Yes, the last
Base 8.
Base 8 is correct. Last pair of questions for this round. Prempeh. Wines are traditionally made from fruit juices. Why is it possible to obtain an alcoholic drink, palm wine, from the trunk of palm tree? Yes, Jehu.
The palm wine, when produced, is affected by yeast spores, which causes the fermentation of the glucose in the palm wine to give ethanol and then carbon dioxide. And then ethanol is alcohol.
Add something, Gideon.
It also contains fructose. So when it is fed, it's
What
affected
contains
by
fructose?
the palm wine.
One out of 3. I think you were confused. We are finding out how palm wine comes from the tree, and you are talking about palm wine already. The sap from the trunk contains carbohydrates. You mentioned some, right? Which are fermented by yeast from the atmosphere. So the sap is the sap that's important here. Your question, St. Peter's. What are the chemical and physical bases for the use of dynamite and petrol bombs? Yes, Noah.
Okay, the physical importance is to allow a lot of the minerals to be obtained, whilst the chemical won't be. And the chemical helps in the breaking of the bonds.
For a bonus, Gideon.
It contains the chemical nitroglycerin. So the nitroglycerin gives out a larger heat.
I can't take that. Chemical reactions produce large volumes of gases confined in small spaces. This leads to explosions. In the case of dynamite, the force of explosion can even break rock. All right, so large volumes of gases in small spaces. This brings us to the end of round 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The future lies in the hands of our children. Children today, leaders tomorrow. And education holds the key. Without the proper learning environment, these children may never reach their full potential. And it should not be that way.
It looks like what? The box looks
That is where the Ghana Education Trust Fund steps in, so that these children can have access to basic facilities and enjoy the learning experience. Gradually, one by one, we are removing the barriers in the way of quality basic education. We will continue, so they too can continue. Get Fund. We invest in tomorrow's leaders.
At the end of the second round, our scores are Prempeh College 30 points, St. Peter's Secondary School 39 points. We are now about to start round 3. This round, you'll get our problem of the day. As you know, the problem of the day is a little more involved than the problems you've already seen. And so you have a longer time in which to respond. When I ask you to begin, you'll have 3 minutes in which to provide a response. Contestants, let's turn over our sheets and read the problem of the day. Our problem of the day. The position of a particle moving on a straight line is given by the equation S is equal to f of t is equal to t cubed minus 9t squared plus 15t plus 10. T is in seconds and S is in meters. 1. Find the velocity at time t. 2. When is the particle at rest? 3. Find the acceleration of the particle at time t. 4. Find the interval in which the particle is decelerating. 5. Find the interval of time when the particle is moving in the positive direction. Good luck, contestants. You may begin.
As I start my day, I know they are counting on me. I am a truck driver for the Ghana Education Trust Fund. My job is to supply books to schools across the country. Whenever I see the school kids, my mind goes back to my school days. I too had hopes and dreams that sadly never came to pass. I made a firm promise to myself that if I couldn't chase my dreams, I would make sure that others could. Seeing these happy kids simply warms my heart. It's happening every day, and I'm proud to be part of Get Fund. Get Fund, we invest in tomorrow's leaders.
The contestants have presented their solutions. Let's first take a look at the ideal solution from our consultants. For the first part, to find the velocity at time t, you need to differentiate. You need to differentiate the expression for s with respect to t. So ds dt is equal to 3t squared minus 18t plus 15 meters per second. So that's the answer. Next, to find when the particle is at rest, you need to set the velocity to 0. We just obtained the velocity. So you set that to 0, you solve, and you obtain t is equal to 1 second and 5 seconds. Third, to find the acceleration of the particle at time t, you need to differentiate the velocity with respect to time. So dv dt is equal to 6t minus 18 meters per second squared. 4. To find the interval in which the particle is decelerating. This means that the acceleration has to be less than 0. So you set your expression for acceleration to less than 0. So 6t minus 18 is less than 0. Solving for t gives t is less than 3. But you have to recognize that you can't have an unbounded function like this. So in fact, 0 is less than or equal to t is less than 3 seconds. 5. To find the interval of time when the particle is moving in the positive direction. This means the velocity is greater than 0. So 3t squared minus 18t plus 15 is greater than 0. Solving for t will give you t is greater than 5 or t is between, or actually 0 is less than or equal to t is less than 1 second. All right, let's see what our contestants did. We start with Prempeh College. They recognize that the velocity is ds dt. They calculated for that. For some reason, they forgot about the units. But we'll forgive this time. 2 points out of 2. At rest, v is equal to 0. And so they recognize that as well. And they solved for t is 1 second or 5 seconds. That's right. 2 more points. Acceleration is dv dt. They recognize that. They solved properly for it. They forgot the units once again, but we are forgiven. So 2 out of 2. Next, when the particle is decelerating, they recognize correctly that acceleration has to be less than 0. They solved for that, but they left it unbounded. So 1 out of 2 for that. And then, the interval of time when the particle is moving in the positive direction, they misinterpreted this. So they set s is greater than 0, which is the incorrect interpretation, and so what they had there was incorrect. If you sum up their scores, you get 7 points. Now, St. Peter's. St. Peter's basically had the same situation as Prempeh College. They calculated for the velocity correctly, without units, of course. They calculated for the time correctly. They calculated for the acceleration. They have an expression without units. We forgive. When the particle is decelerating, they calculated for the time. They also left it unbounded, so 1 out of 2. And they also have an incorrect interpretation of the question for the 5th part. So they said A is greater than 0. This is incorrect. And so that part was also incorrect. Again, 7 out of 10. This brings us to the end of round 3. We are about to begin round 4. Contestants, in this round, most questions require calculations, so you have 30 seconds in which to present a response. For questions that do not involve calculations, you have your usual 15 seconds. Let's begin. And we start on my left with St. Peter's. Your question. The high heel of a woman's shoe exerts a pressure of 2 times 10 to the power 6 pascals on the floor. If she weighs 800 newtons, and if all of her weight acts on the heel, what is the area in square centimeters of the heel? Yes, Delassie.
To the power minus 4 square centimeters.
Try again. Yes, Michael.
4 times 10 to the power minus 2 square centimeters.
Your last chance. Yes, Noah.
0.25 times 10 raised to the power 8 centimeters squared.
For a bonus. Yes, Gideon.
2.5 times 10 raised to the power 8 centimeters squared.
That's also incorrect. It's 4 centimeters squared. 4 centimeters squared. And Prempeh. A density of 2,500 kilogram per meter cubed displaces 0.04 meter cubed of water when fully immersed in a swimming pool. If g, acceleration due to gravity, is 10 meters per second squared, how much does the man weigh? Yes, Jawu.
1,000 newtons.
1,000 newtons. Give a balanced equation for the complete combustion of fructose in excess oxygen. Yes, Michael.
C6H12O6 plus 6O2 going to 6CO2 plus 6H2.
That's correct. Give a balanced equation for the complete combustion of 2-heptene in excess oxygen. Yes, Jewu.
C7H14 plus 9O2 going to 7CO2 plus 2 water.
Try again, Sebastian.
C7H14 plus 8O2 going into 7CO2 plus 7 water.
Your last chance.
C7H14 plus 8O2 going to 7CO2 plus 7A2.
For a bonus. Yes, Noah.
C7H14 plus 11O2 going to 7CO2 plus 8H2O.
That's also incorrect. C7H14 plus 21 over 2O2 going to 7CO2 plus 7H2O. St. Peter's. Find the equation of the tangent to the curve x cubed plus y cubed equals 16 at the point 2, 2. Yes, the Lassie.
Y equals 4 minus x.
That's correct. Prempeh, find the equation of the normal to the curve x squared plus 2x plus y squared equals 8 at the point 2, 0. Yes, Gideon.
Y equals 2s plus 4. Y equals 2x.
For a bonus. Yes, Noah.
X equals 2.
That's correct. Now to both schools. Pick the most appropriate option, one attempt only. And we are starting with you, St. Peter's. Organisms in which of the following phyla have cytosome? A. Mycota. B. Rhizopoda. C. Apicomplexa. D. Ciliophora. E. Basidiomycota. Yes, the Lassie.
Ciliophora.
Ciliophora is correct. Prempeh College, with the same preamble, one attempt only. With which of the following classes of organisms would you associate Copepoda? A. Chilopoda. B. Diplopoda. C. Gastropoda. D. Hirudiria. E. Crustacea. Yes, Gideon.
Crustacea.
Crustacea is correct. St. Peter's. A tennis racket makes impact with a tennis ball for 0.01 second, moving the ball from rest to a velocity of 70 meters per second. If the force of impact was 420 Newton, what is the mass in grams of the tennis ball? Yes, Michael.
6 grams.
60,
No one.
60 grams.
60 grams is correct. Prempeh College. A tennis ball of mass 60 grams moving in one direction with velocity v1 makes a perfectly elastic collision with a tennis racket for 0.01 seconds. The ball moves in the opposite direction after collision with a velocity of 55 meters per second. If the force of impact was 420 newtons, what is the magnitude of the initial velocity v1? Yes, Gideon.
15 kilograms.
Try again. Yes, Jewu.
50 meters per second.
That's correct. An element has 4 natural isotopes with mass numbers 44, 46, 48, and 49. If the respective natural abundances are 25%, 25%, 30%, and 20%, what is the relative atomic mass of the element? Yes, the last
46.7.
46.7. Prempeh College. Calculate the number of oxygen molecules in a gaseous sample occupying a volume of 166.2 decimeter cubed at 100 kilopascals and temperature of 400 Kelvin. Gas constant R is 8.31 decimeter cubed kilopascal per Kelvin per mole, and Avogadro's constant is 6.0 times 10 to the 23. Yes, Sebastian.
3.01 times 10 to the power 23 molecules.
Try again. For a bonus, yes, the last
3 times 10 to the power 24 molecules.
That's correct. Your own question. Find the constants A, B, and C such that 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 is equivalent to ax into bracket x plus 1, bracket closed, plus bx plus c. Yes, Michael.
A is 2, B is 1, and C is 1.
That's correct. Prempeh College. Find the constants A, B, and C such that 3x squared minus 4x plus 5 is equivalent to ax, open brackets, x minus 1, bracket closed, plus bx plus c. Yes, Gideon.
A is 3, B is minus 1, and C is 5.
That's correct. This brings us to the end of round 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The future lies in the hands of our children. Children today, leaders tomorrow. And education holds the key. Without the proper learning environment, these children may never reach their full potential. And it should not be that way.
It looks like what? The box looks
That is where the Ghana Education Trust Fund steps in, so that these children can have access to basic facilities and enjoy the learning experience. Gradually, one by one, we are removing the barriers in the way of quality basic education. We will continue, so they too can continue. Get Fund. We invest in tomorrow's leaders.
At the end of the 4th round, our scores are Prempeh College 49 points, St. Peter's Secondary School 68 points. We are now entering the final round. Round 5 comes to you in 2 parts. For the first part, I will be presenting schools with statements to which they will respond true or false. For a correctly answered statement, you will earn 2 points. For a wrongly answered statement, you will lose 1 point from scores you have already accumulated. You may choose not to provide a response at all in which case the statement will be passed on to your opponent for the full 2 points. Let's begin. And we'll start on my right with Prempeh College. Your statement. The atomic number of an element is the same as the number of protons in the nucleus. Yes, Gideon.
True.
True. In the root, a high concentration of auxins accelerates growth. Yes, Delasi.
False.
False. The number 524 is divisible by 8. Yes, Jehu.
True.
No, it's false. A p-type semiconductor is produced by doping a tetravalent element, such as germanium, with a pentavalent element. Yes, Noah.
False.
False is correct. If 3 forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, any one of these forces is said to be the equilibrant of the other 2. Yes, Jehu?
True.
Yes, it's true. Two grams of hydrogen gas contains more molecules than 40 grams of CO2 gas. Yes, Michael?
It's true.
It's true. The stem of a bulb does not store food. Yes, Gideon?
True.
Yes, it's true. It's the leaves that store food. Cosine of 80 degrees minus A is equal to negative cosine of A. Yes, the last.
It's true.
Yes, it's true. The volume of a sphere of diameter d is pi d cubed over 6. Yes, Gideon.
False.
Gideon is true. One condition for total internal reflection to occur is that light must travel from a less optically dense medium to a more dense one. Yes, Noah?
False.
Yes, it's false. Arrhenius base and Bronsted-Lowry base, by definition, are the same. Sex-linked characters in human beings are controlled by genes born on the Y chromosome. Yes, Gideon?
False.
False is correct. A quadratic equation has rational roots if the discriminant is an exact square. Yes, Noah?
True.
Yes, it's true. Mixing red, blue, and green paint gives the same effect as mixing red, blue, and green lights. Yes, Jehu?
It's false.
It's false. The last statement of the round. A solution of pH 0 has no acidity. Yes, the last.
It's false.
It's false. Contestants, this brings us to the end of the first part of round 5. For the second part of round 5, I'm going to be giving you riddles to solve. In order to solve a riddle, you have to attract my attention. Let's hear your bell, St. Peter's. All right. And your bell, Prempeh. Okay. When you ring the bell, you must have your response ready. I mean that. Okay. If you solve the riddle on the first clue, 5 points. On the second clue, 4 points. On the third and any other clue thereafter, 3 points. Good luck, and let's begin with the first riddle. The first riddle. I am a law of chemistry named after a Russian chemist. He was born in 1802 and died in 1850. Yes, the last one.
The periodic law.
That's incorrect. So you are now observers. This riddle is for Prempeh College to solve whenever they are ready. We continue, Prempeh. I am all about heat energy given off or absorbed during chemical processes. Unlike normal transport fares, which depend on the length of the journey, my law would suggest that, yes, Prempeh, Hess's law is correct. Next riddle. I am a blood vessel. Even though I have several siblings, I am special. Like my other siblings, I have valves that ensure that blood flows through me in only one direction. While my siblings return blood to the heart. Yes, Michael.
Pulmonary vein.
That's incorrect. Prempeh College, your riddle. We are continuing. While my siblings return blood to the heart, I form an important connection between two organs. I carry nutrient-rich blood. The intestine is my starting point, and the liver is my destination. Who am I? Yes, Gideon.
Hepatic water vein.
That's correct. Next riddle. I am a closed geometric figure in the plane. To be precise, I am a polygon. I am, as the saying goes, a regular guy. I am equal in all my angles, in all my aspects. That is, I'm both equilateral and equiangular. The sum of my interior angles is equal to the sum of my exterior angles. Yes, Prempeh.
Square.
The square is correct. The final riddle of this round. I am a result of one of the 3 characteristic properties of a wave. I am actually a perception. I can swing high or low, and ladies generally go with the high part of me. In the world of sports, I am a piece of ground. Yes.
Pitch.
Pitch is correct. This is the end of round 5. At the end of the contest, our final scores are Prempeh College, 68 points, St. Peter's Secondary School, 87 points. Prempeh College, thank you for giving us a good contest. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you at this stage. I know you'll be working hard, and we will see you sometime in the future. All the best in your endeavors. St. Peter's Secondary School, congratulations on winning a place in our semi-finals. Continue with your preparations, and we'll be seeing you presently. All the best. Viewers, we've had an exciting contest, another good one. I hope you'll be with us next time when we bring you the first of our semi-finals. That contest is going to be between Opokuwari Secondary School and Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. If you enjoyed this one, I don't think you want to miss the next one. Thank you for being with us. See you next time. Goodbye.